Press conference earlier. Hi, knew it. I was nervous you would. So tell me. So between with this and Widows, I assume you're having quite a time over here in Toronto, in this beautiful city, aren't you?
A wonderful time.
And I want to ask you, what was it? What was it that drew you to playing somebody like Virginia Woolf?
I mean, she's a wonderful, incredible writer, so I really wanted to play her. She's a wonderful talent.
And I look forward to seeing the film. So I didn't want to take up too much of time.
No, you're wonderful. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you again too.
It's time to rock and roll!
Yeah, I know.
Oh boy.
I never get used to that.
Recording in process.
This is big. It's suddenly a little jump scare right there.
Yeah. I'm willing to bet. I brought this up on other recordings, just like Gene and other people, but I was like, I'm willing to bet, because they didn't used to have that little recording announcement. I was willing to bet that some people got recorded when they shouldn't have been recorded. And they're like, you know what? Let's cover our asses legally and just make it as obvious as possible when it starts. And awkward, so everyone has to pay attention to it.
Most likely.
Much like the opening to this episode. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Wolf Press Hangouts. I'm your host, Diego Crespo. With me today is my co-host, Gina Versa.
Hey, how you doing? Glad to be back in the United States of America. Or
are you?
No, maybe not. No. Just stayed in Canada. You guys have a good free healthcare. McDonald's not processed. Better food. Got poutine, you know. It was quite the country over there, so I take that back. But oh well.
By the way, the part of the cover for the little thumbnail for this episode is going to be the Canadian flag. Like just
Nice.
Oh my god.
Yeah. We don't
We're happy to have you, and I'm glad you had a good time.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, thank you. And yeah, Carlos was a good host. He had me at his house for 4 days.
Yeah, and we'll just go around introducing people that way. And you know, I was gonna switch it up, but Carlos introduced himself first. Welcome back to the podcast, Carlos.
Oh, I'm sorry, but
no, it's totally fine. This is what happens. We roll with the punches, and we find a more exciting way to talk about movies, hopefully.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, hi,
so
welcome back.
It's really nice to be back. Thank you. I was here we were talking about old last time, right? Mm-hmm. And G.I. Joe also came up at one point.
Oh yeah, everyone forgot about Snake Eyes.
Yes, that was the episode. Yeah, it was old and Snake Eyes toy movies.
Yeah, and everyone.
But I'm here
like,
back now for a little Tiff debriefing.
Yeah, everyone didn't like Snake Eyes, and I was like, I thought it was all right. And that was cool.
Snake Eyes, I love the Brian De Palma movie.
Oh yes,
yeah, that was better. You see that.
That's a fantastic movie, and they should put back the original ending, because then it's like a top 5 De Palma for me. Underrated movie. Jamie, hi, how are you?
Hey, glad to be here for once, Diego. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. We've been Twitter mutuals for such a long time. You're a great person. You're a great follow. All your tweets are either in a fun way, like inflammatory, like you'll kick up a little dirt, but in like a fun way. Mostly, sometimes Twitter sometimes doesn't let it stay fun, but or you're like sharing your love of cinema and some insights, and yeah, it's just great to have you on.
Well, when I'm fighting with a lot of Marvel stands half the time, that's just the way things go.
Yeah.
Well,
that's just the daily basis for you, man.
Yes. And that last voice is of course our buddy Bode. Welcome back, or welcome to the show. Sorry.
Yeah.
Welcome. Thank you for having me. It's nice to finally meet you, Diego, in person. Well, through Zoom, but I mean in person anyway, because we've been Twitter, like, with Jamie, we've been Twitter mutuals for a while, and you're a great follow. I certainly hope you think I'm a decent one at best.
No, you're one of the best.
Hey, I'll take that. Thank you.
Yeah. So right now, what just happened was I explained to the panel here, I'm going to introduce you guys in this order, and the exact opposite order just happened. But it was fun. But you and Jamie, we always try to give someone a little like room to talk about as much as they want to talk about themselves when they're introduced. And so this is both of your first times here. Bode, the camera's on you right now for my Zoom, so you can go first and talk a little bit about yourself and like your history with the movies.
Oh boy. Okay. I guess I I guess I might as well. Well, as for me myself, I am currently a student. I'm a media studies student at Durham, Trent University, Durham, which is in Durham, Ontario, Canada. And I've also studied broadcasting and digital video, with diplomas for both, and well, still finding a way to try and use it in a way that will get something going. As far as my love with the movies, I've since I was a child, and one of the first things that really, I always remember one of the first things in my childhood was like watching TV. I can't remember what, and then staring at a screen and then just taking my hand and putting it on that TV as if I was one with what was going on. And I always point to E.T., Steven Spielberg's E.T., as kind of the first thing that really kind of was my gateway drug into film, and wanting to make it, wanting to just study it, wanting to just talk about it in any way that I possibly could. And yeah, I mean, from there on, I've had a few blogs here and there. I've guested on a few things, and yeah. Yeah.
No, that was
Good.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Very descriptive image. My brain immediately went to Poltergeist. Yours
Oh,
is like
yeah.
a very inspiring, like personal connection to movies. And I'm like, oh yeah, the creepy moment from Poltergeist.
Yeah.
That was a creepy one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And Jamie, how about you?
Okay, well, my first things first, I am a Bachelor of Film and Television student right now over at Sheridan College, and in addition to that, I am in my graduating year, so it feels a little, I don't know what to say. It feels like
You and me both.
Time has just gone by way too damn quickly at this point.
God.
Well, congratulations to you both on that. That's
Yeah, congrats,
great
guys.
to hear.
But in addition to that, I am the founder of Cinema from the Spectrum, a outlet that I dedicated to sharing the perspectives on cinema from people on the autism spectrum, like myself. I'm no longer the editor-in-chief, but Diego, I'm sure you know who the editor-in-chief is now. It's none other than our good buddy Austin Shin, who I've entrusted. But I figured, you know what? I've known the guy for a few years already. I figured if anybody's fit to be the editor-in-chief at that site, it's got to be him.
That's fantastic.
Nice
I gotta get Austin on at some point. That dude's terrific.
He's a nice guy.
Austin is amazing.
Yeah.
But I also wanted to say that in addition to that, you can see my Twitter presence where, as Diego mentioned, I fight with a lot of Marvel stands on the regular basis.
It's a delight though. It's when it's not. Sometimes it can be overwhelming for the tweeter like yourself, I'm sure, because sometimes it's just like noise. It's like, it's not even like insulting. It's just like, what are they even saying? I'm not talking about any of this.
They need to touch grass, go outside, something.
They need to do a lot of things.
Like going to the proper movies, which is what we're going to talk about today. This is the Tiff recap special. I did not go, so I'm just going to ask questions once in a while and let everyone else here on the screen panel that like have at it, basically. So we always talk about what we've been watching recently, so this is also just going to be the main subject of the episode. The only thing that I can really shout out, let's see, what did I see? I saw Top Gun finally. It's pretty good. A lot of people were crazy about it. I don't dislike the movie. I was just like, yeah, it was pretty good. Even I got a little wrapped up in the finale though, and I was like, why am I like fucking crying right now? Like, what the
So good. It's so good, dude.
It's very well directed. Kaczynski's my boy. Tom Cruise is a weird dude who happens to be one of the valiant defenders of the cinema. Okay, just this reason he doesn't bring up his beliefs anymore.
It really is like a meta commentary on like just him and his career, and just like think about like the kind of movies that he's making now. It's almost kind of like an endangered species and
Yeah.
and look at
Gotta
it
give him
now.
cre-
Like,
gotta give
it's
him
like-
credit. He's one
Yeah.
of the guys who still keeping it real even to this day.
Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
this is the most like this is one of the only movies he shot digitally too, because he's a big proponent for like Mission Impossibles will be shot on film. They'll be shot on film every time, and it's like I don't know if you need to do that, but all right, they all look good, so good job.
Yeah.
But this movie looks great too. And then the other movie I saw, I'm watching Don't Worry Darling after this, so maybe I'll plug in a quick little snippet of my thoughts right here. All right, I just got out of Don't Worry Darling. It's fine. I didn't hate it. Some stuff doesn't work, some stuff does. Matthew Libatique is a great cinematographer. Olivia Wilde still can convey visual ideas very well. She's got decisions, that's nice to see. And that's it. Sorry. That's all I got. Okay, enjoy the rest of the episode. But I saw Avatar this morning for the re-release, and it's a fantastic experience. Gets better every time I watch it. I was wrong. I was wrong for like 6 years of my life. That's on me. But it's coming from someone who once wrote an article titled "Avatar was never good." I need to know that I have grown as a person.
Can we still find that somewhere?
No.
Okay.
But
Probably for the best.
The Wayback Machine is going to betray you.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Bag machine.
nothing ever nothing ever disappears from the internet.
I know.
Nothing.
Yeah,
I know
exactly.
it's so bad. It's like other people have like skeletons in their closet, and I'm like, I have something worse. I didn't like Avatar. But yeah, it's terrific. I was talking with Carlos before we started recording that like, even if like you don't like the movie, like it's not like a hack job. It looks terrific. The designs and like the whole world of the Na'vi and Pandora and stuff, it's just like it's so textured, it's so colorful, it's so lively. And then I when I got home afterwards, I watched little clips on my computer. My computer screen, it's a new one. It's it hasn't I haven't like fully calibrated it yet. Like I really just got this. And so the shadows are like they're always look a little lifted on this screen right now. And Avatar looks so much worse, not because it's not on the big screen, which is probably, another reason why it didn't look as good, but I don't think the movie gets credit for like having like such great lighting techniques. Like it looks fantastic because of how like dark some of the scenes are, how bright some of the scenes are. Whereas if it's flatter, it makes it look so much worse. It's like, it feels like it's just like green screen when Sam Worthington is talking to Stephen Lang's Colonel Army character, and it's just like, it looks bad. Why does this look bad right now? I just saw it 2 hours ago and it looked incredible. And so I don't know. That's just one of the things I noticed. I'll probably do a letterbox post about it because I was really wrapped up in this viewing. And Way of Water Hive, let's fucking go. Best Picture 2023. Let's make it happen.
Oh hell yeah.
Let's do it. Yeah.
I'm very much looking forward. I mean, I'm to expand on that point that you brought up, Diego, about the lighting stuff. I think because also, it's as bright as it is, and it looks good being as bright as it is, because of course they were dealing with 3D technology. And I think with 3D technology, it's important that, people see the fucking image.
Yeah.
Sorry for swearing, but yeah,
no,
it's
you're allowed to do that here.
okay. All right. Well, okay, cool.
Yeah.
No, but
go for it.
Especially when, the glasses, you're seeing things through, these sort of black lenses. So yeah, that's another thing too. I think that really kind of factored into it. That's, I think, also pretty important to notice. It's especially notable when all the 3D conversions were happening after Avatar was such a huge hit, and you couldn't see the image because they shot it in a way that's like, okay, this is not fit for 3D. Why did you convert it other than money?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you all remember the next big 3D movie after Avatar?
Clash of the Titans.
Yep.
Yep.
And also starring Sam Worthington, and that's
Great,
a
that's
bad
interesting.
movie.
Yeah.
It looks like
my
I saw that in 3D. It looked like ass.
Yeah, I saw that in 3D too.
Yeah, I saw it in 3D too, and
And it got a sequel.
Yeah. Wrath of the
Yeah.
Titans. That's insane.
Which I've still never seen.
Okay. Now that you've said that, Bode, I have to mention something specific about the sequel. It's one of the funniest one movie to its sequel plot points I've ever seen. These are bad movies, but I will never forget this.
Go
The
for
very
it.
end of the first Clash of Clash of the Titans, the first movie, right, is that Sam Worthington's girlfriend, played by Gemma Arterton's, dead, and Zeus, his father, gets to bring her back to life. He's like, now you can have a girlfriend, good, and go be happy, whatever. The second movie starts and she's died again off screen.
Oh
And
my
I'm
god!
like,
Yeah.
bro, it literally starts with him like at her gravestone, and I'm like, why did you bring her back at the last? It's just a very amusing to watch the two movies back to back. It's very
Oh my
wasn't,
goodness.
Wasn't that
Yeah.
character kind of weird? She like watched over him his whole life or something crazy like that.
Now that I don't remember, because I don't remember the movie very well. Only that part sticks out in my head.
Gotcha.
I think honestly, maybe Gemma Arterton didn't want to come back.
Oh,
which,
she didn't.
I mean,
No, that was
Good on
that was
her.
when she had just started doing blockbusters, because she did Quantum of Solace.
Mhm.
She did Clash of
Strawberry
Titans, and
Fields.
she
That
also
was
did
okay.
Prince of Persia.
Yep. Prince of Persia
wow.
was the same year as Clash, and then the last one she did was Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters.
Oh,
And then she's like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
She's talked about really hating her blockbuster years, and that she went back to doing smaller movies and some stage stuff back in.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
She found her few Hollywood years very unfulfilling, and I don't blame her for that.
No.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the movie that broke her was The King's Man? She was in that, remember?
She was in that, which I have not seen.
I haven't
The only
seen
thing
it.
I've seen
I
for
haven't
that
seen either.
is the Thanos Hitler post-credit scene.
Yeah.
where
You
Yeah.
Hitler
guys
is
know about
introduced
that?
at the end.
Yeah,
as, like,
I am
a
aware of that.
tease.
Do you guys know
Yeah.
about
I'm
that?
like, bro,
Yeah.
bro, that's way too.
Wow.
It's way too much.
Yeah.
It's offensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Does Diego know-
look, I
Diego
heard
knows
about
stuff.
that. Yeah, and I was like, because I used to kind of go to bat for that director. I never remember his name now.
Matthew Vaughn?
Vaughn?
Thank you.
Matthew
Yeah,
Vaughn,
Matthew
yeah.
Vaughn. And I still like some of his movies, but I'm like, yeah, we probably just moved past him. Like,
Yeah.
as a
Yeah,
culture,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
probably okay.
Let's say that.
Yeah, we don't need that anymore. Apologies to Gemma Arterton. I hope she's in good movies soon.
I hope so too.
Yeah, was she
As
in any
someone who
movies
did
that
see her
Tiff?
in person, yeah, I hope that she's in something good soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
She wasn't in any movies at Tiff?
She was in Vita in Virginia, but that was like what 2018, I
I was
think.
at the premiere for that.
Hey, same here. I
Oh.
interviewed Elizabeth Debicki, and then my interview with her became a meme after that.
Yeah, I went viral like
Nice.
crazy.
Oh
I
my
remember thinking, you son of a bitch.
Can I open the episode with that interview? Is it
Oh
still
my
available?
god, yeah, it is. It is.
Oh, okay, yeah, I gotta track that down. I'll let you know if I can't find it. If I need some help for that. But yeah,
She's as tall as she is in person, right, Jamie?
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
she is.
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
God.
and
She
and
was,
she just
I was
keeps
sitting
growing.
there. I was sitting there in the theater before the movie started. Her and Gemma Arterton walked like they were like holding like arms, and they walked right past me. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, that's yeah. She's
That just
very tall.
happened.
Well, I hope she also returns to Tiff. But
Mhm.
Gene, let's go to you for a second because you're my co-host and also
Yeah.
the person I do this most with. And
Sure.
I haven't given you a chance to talk for a second.
Oh, good.
What was Tiff like apart from the wonderful nation of Canada?
Oh yeah, it was it was very interesting to kind of see like Fablemans in this like really kind of like fancy I wouldn't say fancy, but the was it the King what was the name of the place that we saw Fablemans at? Carl,
Was it Roy Thompson Hall? Or...
Roy Thompson Hall?
No,
Yeah,
it was Princess of Wales. I believe.
Princess of Wales.
Oh,
there we
Princess
go.
of Wales. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a very like I don't know, yeah, it was something like out of like a like some sort of like a old sort of like movie almost, seen it. Like it was really incredible cinema. So it was like that the prestige of some of the theaters were really interesting, and just seeing films where I would ahead of time is always great, but just seeing especially a Steven Spielberg film was amazing. I love Fablemans. Did you guys get to see it?
I was
I
at the
did, yeah.
premiere.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
I saw it the next day after the premiere.
I
Yeah.
saw it with
And-
you,
and he was
Gene. I
there.
hope you remember that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, it was just a very incredible time. I was just very just taken aback, just seeing like like other countries like how they watch films, which different than America and everything. It's just just nicer over there. So, yeah, it was nice. But yeah, saw some really interesting films. The Sydney 48 documentary was great, very well made. I guess it's on Apple Plus, Apple TV.
Yeah, it's on there right now.
Oh, awesome! I'd recommend that. And VHS 99 is really interesting. I think my favorite segment was from the Flying Lotus because he's so weird and kind of messed up.
Yeah, everyone's been highlighting that as a favorite of the
I wish I got to see it there, but at the same time, I already did 7 Midnight Madness screenings, and doing so many in a row I feel like that would have killed me.
Yeah, it tires you out. Yeah, what do you guys?
But I will say I heard about Flying Lotus doing the stand-up salute for the volunteers, so
Yeah.
I'm glad that I'm glad that was something that caught on, because it was something that I jokingly did at Sisu, and then it just seems to have caught on from there.
Oh my goodness, he did it at the and I remember you doing it at the last screening for like how to blow up a pipeline, and I was like, me and Shaq were like looking. Shout out to Shaq, by the way. We wish we were here. But me and Shaq were looking, and he was like, "Don't you fucking do it." You looked at me. I was like, I might do it. But I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I did it at home though, so
there you go.
I did my part.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was an incredible film festival. I will go again next year. But yeah, out of all the sort of film festivals I've been to, this is certainly one of my now favorite ones. So I was really glad to have gone, and got to meet all my Twitter friends, Twitter mutuals there too. So you guys really made it an incredible experience. So appreciate you guys.
We appreciate having you here, man. It was great.
Yeah. It was great just to be able to see you, Gene.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Carlos for letting me stay at his house for free.
No problem. Happy to help.
Thanks.
Yeah, and then I'll have to kick Gene out of your old spot. And then I'll just stay there. Gene can go somewhere else.
You could go rent. You could go rent a hotel, or
go rent a hotel. Yeah.
Go to anyone else's house.
Who else do I know around there?
You see, I'm trying to get a whole bunch of my other Twitter friends to all come next year. Like, I've already had conversations with some other mutuals who are like, "Oh my god, I should," because I told them about oh, Gene came, and they were like, "Oh, we should go. I'll get everyone there." And then the problem is that they're all gonna want me.
Oh, okay.
And then I won't know what to do, because I don't.
We'll do a sort of
different people.
We'll do a sort of battle royale, Hunger Games style thing to determine who gets to stay with Carlos next year.
Yeah, or just get a bunch of sleeping bags.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Sleepover.
Sleepover. Exactly.
Well, here, speaking of battles to the death, if you had to pick a favorite movie from TIFF to battle it out with other movies at TIFF, what was your guys' favorites? Because it felt like there were so many movies this year, I couldn't even keep up. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I didn't see any of them, obviously, but I was like, I felt like they just kept coming out. I was like, that's playing there. All these movies are coming out in like the next 3 to 4 months. I don't know. I thought Fablemans and like Avatar 2 are going to be enough for me, and there's still more.
I know.
There's other stuff.
Even me, like this week, I played a little bit of catch up because I missed some things at TIFF. So like this week, I saw Moon Age Daydream, which played there, and then Barbarian, which was not officially a TIFF selection, but the Midnight Madness programmer Peter Kaplowski made it showed it like the day before as like an unofficial kickoff to the program, because he loved the movie. He saw it way early in advance and wanted to program it actually for the program, but Disney kept moving it around a bunch, which seemed to have worked out because it's doing very well. But yeah, even me, I was playing a bit of catch up this week.
Yeah, it was a lot of movies. How many movies did you guys see? I only saw like a few.
I saw 13 in total.
Wow. Over like 2 weeks, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Jamie saw way more than me, of course.
Yeah, I saw 34.
Whoa.
Holy shit.
Hell,
Holy
dude.
shit. Wow.
Oh my gosh. What about you, Carlos?
I only saw 7, unfortunately, but it was still a good experience.
It's still 7 movies, man.
Yeah, I mean, 7 movies.
Yeah,
that's good. That's still a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Goodness. I don't think I've ever seen like 34 movies in like Well, how long was TIFF, Jamie? So you were there like from opening to closing, basically, right?
Yep, I was.
Okay.
It's
How
11
long
days.
is 11 days? Yeah, that's a lot of movies in that time. Now I'm
Yep.
seeing you. Like I don't think I've ever seen that many. Although I did watch Bad Boys 2 like 11 times in a week once.
Oh yeah, there you go. Bad Boys 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Some days I just go with like what 3 or 4 a day, and then I had to stay at a friend's place to do all the Midnight Madness screenings.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm
That's
just
one
gonna
thing
shout out my buddy Andy, who goes on Twitter. I think his name is Scumburger. Let me verify that for
Okay.
you.
Mhm.
Yep, that's his Twitter username. I think his Letterboxd username is also Scumburger. I want to give him a shout out. If you're not following him, you should, because I was able to stay over at his place, which was thankfully like only 20 minutes away from the Lightbox at most. And I was able to go from a Midnight Madness screening to a very early morning showing the day after.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
would come in on some days just on 3-4 hours of sleep.
Wow.
But you know what? I had a lot of caffeine because the Hyatt Regency has a Starbucks attached to it. So I said, yeah, I think the caffeine is all I need to keep me going through the days.
That's good.
Yeah.
Gene, that was kind of like our schedule, like for Comic-Con.
Yeah.
That was like we gotta get 3-4 hours of
Uh,
sleep, wake up, and like
yeah.
just let me sleep more. And he was like, no. I was like, okay.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
No, that sounds
Mhm.
rigorous, I guess.
Well,
With, like,
movies, yeah.
we're definitely going back to Comic-Con next year, and I'm going to TIFF. I would like to go to the Cannes Film Festival next year. So maybe those will be my 3 big like movie events I attend.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, what other favorite movies would you people like recommend to other people? Because it's like Fablemans is we're all gonna see that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
you
yeah.
should
Spielberg.
see it. It's Spielberg. He hasn't had a hit in a while, so maybe not everyone will see it, unfortunately.
Hey, West Side Story. So, okay, well, maybe not a box office hit, but a critical hit at least.
Critical. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's like
Yeah.
top 5 Spielberg. Like,
Oh yeah.
But
Like yeah.
okay, Fablemans. A lot of people are gonna see. What else is out there? Barbarian, which I haven't seen yet, but I really want to. Like, what
Oh,
else?
man.
What do you need to get the word out for? I guess is what I'm asking.
I would also say Decision to Leave, which I feel like already had a lot of buzz coming in from Cannes, but I said I was gonna see it in a theater anyway. I didn't want to see some pirated version of that because I can't do Park Chan-wook dirty like that.
Mm.
Yeah, and Women Talking was another favorite of mine from the festival. Which, funny
Oh.
enough, I had a really sweet encounter with Sarah Polly on the second to the last day at TIFF. Gene saw this happen in
was there.
person too.
Yeah, I was right next to him.
Yeah.
That was the
So
same day
basically-
I met you in person, right? Was that the same
I
day?
think it was.
Or is that
Was it the
different
day after?
It was the
I think
day
it was the day
before.
after.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Sorry.
Yeah. So basically what happened was I was at the Lightbox chilling because I was waiting to get info on a one-on-one interview I was supposed to do with the director of Leonore Will Never Die, since it was the final Midnight movie. And what happened that was I was just charging up my laptop and my phone. Gene saw me there doing that because we were just chilling there. We saw Sarah Polly walking into the theater as she was going to do a Q&A for her very last screening of Women Talking. And then I decided, you know what? I want to try and sneak into the Q&A for a bit as to see if she would notice. And then, what do you know? Right outside right at the bar, we see Sarah Polly right next to us. So I had to say, "Hey, Sarah, I've been a big fan of your work." And what do you know? She saw me wearing the Sarah Polly t-shirt, Girls on Tops. Shout out to them. And then she said, "Hey, I love your shirt. Can I also get a selfie of you? Can I also get a selfie together with you while you're wearing that, please?" And yeah. So yeah, aside from that picture that you see of me and Sarah Polly, I'm just waiting till she posts. I'm still waiting till she posts something with that selfie, just somewhere, and then I'll share it with y'all.
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter. That was like, oh, that's awesome.
And she even gave me a hug right before we took the photo too.
Yeah, she
Oh,
seemed
that's very
sweet.
sweet.
That is
Yeah.
very sweet. Yeah.
Star of the seminal film Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead remake from 2004. I do find her career super interesting now because it's like she's totally taking a
Yeah.
step back from acting, and I was like, no. I'm gonna do that now. I'm gonna
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I respect that.
Yeah.
It's a bold move in the industry.
And
Oh, yeah.
Women Talking, this is her first like film in like 10 years because
Yeah.
she it's like she never stopped being busy. She did a bunch of things in between, like the Alias Grace
Mhm.
miniseries, which I believe it was on CBC here. I believe Netflix had it in the United States. She was
I think
behind
it's- I
that.
think it's still on Netflix over here, if I remember correctly, at least.
Yeah. Netflix has it here, I believe. But she kept busy in that time. But yeah, Women Talking, I think that's gonna be her big ticket when it comes,
Mhm.
especially when it comes to, not that I'm an Oscar prognoster or anything, but definitely
Yeah.
when it comes to awards.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I would hope so. Yeah. I mean, I didn't see it, but she seemed like she had a very interesting career. So all for that.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And,
and like
uh,
I knew. I just want to say really quick. I knew she was there. I didn't know like she had a movie. I was just like, oh, Sarah Pauli's there. Cool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like that's like, so for me that's a perfect answer because it's like I need to know about this.
Oh yeah. I mean,
I mean, we
I
kinda
mean, look,
expected-
she's
we kind
Canadian.
of,
So.
yeah, we kind of expected her to be here because not only because she's Canadian, but she's a Toronto legend. So
Mm.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Like
Well,
she's
like
up there with
her and-
Adam McGoyan.
Mhm.
Oh,
Who I,
this-
funny enough, saw it during the festival at least like what 5 times already.
I saw him too during the festival, and that was like my first time seeing him, and it was exactly like, oh my goodness, there's these guys, Eric Marchin and Mac Rohrbeck, shout out to them. They host the Untitled Movie Podcast, which you can look up on YouTube and iTunes and stuff. They're great. They like anytime they see Adam McGoyan, they describe the story of him just going up to a TIFF volunteer and asking, hey, what movies are playing today? And it's like, come on, Adam, you should be, I mean, it's great that you're getting advice from volunteers and stuff, but also you have a schedule with you. You're a big time Canadian director. You should know that. And literally, when I saw him at the Lightbox, that's exactly what he did. I was like, holy shit. It's
Funny enough,
exactly what Eric and Matt described.
Yeah, it's funny because like my first ever encounter with him at the Lightbox, I saw him chatting with Pierce Handling right before I was about to see Night of the Living Dead over there, and I was like, "What the hell? What the heck? It's Adam McGoyan here,
Yeah.
together with Arsene. Oh my god!" And
Piers
now,
Handling, I also saw a lot during the fest. Piers Handling, if you don't know, he
Hmm.
used to be the co-CEO of TIFF.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And he has a theater in the Lightbox named after him. So
That's pretty dope.
I will also say
Yeah.
that now that Adam McGoyan has the Criterion release of Exotica, I'm gonna bring it along every time I go to Toronto, just to see if I can maybe run into him again and get him to sign the Blu-ray.
oh yeah, you got to try.
Yeah.
He's around.
Oh yeah.
I got to see about getting that Exotica. That, I mean, because that's, you want to talk about like some of the best Canadian films of all time. Exotica's up there.
It's like the best Toronto movie too.
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness.
All right, I want everyone to think about a question. I'm gonna go to Carlos really quick, just hear what he really wants to go to bat for. I want everyone else to think about what are some advice you'd give to first time TIFFers, because I will be one of them. TIFF attendees. TIFF
Yeah, what do you
Connors.
call it? What do you call it?
TIFF Connors.
We call them Tiffers because that's the program. That's the name of the program that we use to create our TIFF schedules.
Tiffers.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, the TIFFies.
Tiff goers.
Yeah. So just think about like,
Tiffies.
Tiffy.
about like some advice you'd give to someone like me going for the first time next year. Carlos, would you go to bat for the most out of the festival?
Okay, so the movies that I saw there. This is in terms of like my best experience was actually, funnily enough, with a movie that I don't think most people would have mentioned. Was actually What's Love Got to Do with It, which really surprised me. I mean, it's a rom-com, and like I wouldn't have expected that to be the movie to jump out at me at the festival, but I had a really amazing time. And also, Lily James looked directly at me and waved, so that was also a good part. That's not why I like the movie. That did not hurt
It
at all.
it helps. It
Yeah,
helps.
I know.
I was gonna say,
it helped a little.
Hey, I mean,
I was gonna say you could just say like I only liked it because of that, and I'd be like, yeah,
hey, I mean,
get it.
Steven Spielberg thanked me for coming to the premiere of The Fablemans right from the stage. So,
Oh,
so
yeah,
I know what it. I know what it feels like. Although that's not why I love the movie too.
Exactly.
And that's part of why Tiff is, and I guess festivals just in general, but it's such a great experience. Is that it's not just going to see a movie. It's being surrounded by people who love the same thing that you do, and also hopefully maybe seeing somebody pretty cool along the way, maybe a few pretty cool someones along the way. So I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed Sanctuary, which was quite the experience. In fact, the audience didn't just clap at the end, like everybody claps at the end, but people were actually kind of cheering at the end. Like people were they responded to that one, and I really liked it too. So those are probably like the two ones out of all the ones that I saw that have not been mentioned already. Like if people are talking about Fablemans, those are probably the two that I had the best experience watching at the festival here.
all right, it's good to hear. Yeah, because like again, I didn't hear about like any of these movies, so I gotta track.
You gotta
it down.
catch up, buddy.
I know,
Yeah,
I
catch
know.
up, man.
I've been slacking. I've been watching older stuff. I'm watching like a lot of film noir
Avatar.
recently. And Avatar.
Avatar.
And Avatar. Yeah.
I also
well,
want to shout out the time where our very first movie at the festival, where Bode, I'm sure you remember this, or you had an article.
Of course, I remember. I know exactly what you're going to bring up, Jamie.
You had an article written about you because you shouted "What the fuck" at the screening of Hunt.
Oh no! What? You gotta spill the tea on this one.
Okay. So the movie Jamie's talking about is Hunt, which was the directorial debut of, Lee Jean-Jae, who just recently won an Emmy for the best actor in a drama on Squid Game. This was his directorial debut. It came over from Cannes. And that was the first movie that I saw. Jamie, Shaq, and Mark Weinegust, who a great friend of ours, shout out to him. We saw that movie, and Hunt is one of those films where like the plot is it's essentially a spy versus not spy versus spy. They're spies, right, Jamie?
Yeah, there are.
Way. Yeah, it's essentially a spy versus spy kind of film, but they're kind of hunting for the same villain, but they're doing it in their own. They're doing it in their own ways and turning on each other along the way, which is kind of a shitty way to describe the plot. But the plot is it gets very convoluted after a while. It's like even I had trouble keeping up with what was going on, but it's a fun experience because the action is pretty balls to the wall. Like from the first moment, like the action is, again, I'm stuttering here, but yeah, the action is kind of balls to the wall, and it just gets ridiculous over time. And by that point, there's a big ass explosion. I'm not gonna say where, but there's a big ass explosion that comes down during a really like gun tooting action sequence, and when that explosion happens, gun tooting. How often do you hear that?
I love it. Yeah, I can love that. I'm gonna use that to describe like a lot of action movies.
But no, when that sequence, when that explosion happens, like I mean, I literally just like went, what the fuck? It wasn't even just me. There was a bunch of audience members who were like openly laughing, like, how the fuck did we get here? Because it's just so ridiculous, but it's like you're rolling with it anyway because it's fun to watch. It's not a great movie, I think, but it's a very fun experience.
Yeah.
I mean,
and it was fun to watch it with a Tiff crowd, especially like, honestly, it could have been a Midnight Madness movie.
Yeah,
I don't know if you agree, Jamie, but it could have been.
I do agree, and funny enough, that's coming from somebody who literally saw some shit go down at a Midnight Madness screening.
Oh,
and Shaq was there to see it. Shaq and
Oh
Mike
yeah,
was
you
there
were
to see
telling
the
me about
phone.
that. Yeah, you guys were telling me. You got to say the story for Diego and the anyone listening right now.
Oh, wait, Diego, you want to hear this?
Yeah.
story?
Oh yeah. Lay it on,
Oh,
man.
okay. Okay, so basically what happened was some guy in orchestra was on their phone. Another guy gets pissed off, and that guy takes his phone, throws it onto the stage, and let's say shit went down from there.
Did they like start fighting? Like he took his
Yeah.
phone and threw it onto the.
Yeah. So basically, it's like that one guy was like, "Hey, pick up my phone, or I'm gonna ruin the movie for everybody else who's in the fucking orchestra." And I'm like, Jesus Christ. And we can hear them shouting right over the the entire opening scene of the movie too.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
Honestly, that dude who threw the phone, that dude is my fucking hero. Seriously, that dude is my fucking hero.
Yeah.
He did what everybody else wanted to do.
Yeah.
Hmm. I mean, like, I'm glad we're kind of in agreement there. I don't encourage violence. I'm not saying that.
No, exactly. I'm not
No,
encouraging
no.
violence
If
either, but
you-
you know.
Yeah, if you pull out a phone in the theater,
Especially at its
gonna be
world
thrown.
premiere. So yeah.
it's gonna be thrown.
Oh yeah, if I had a world premiere or
On site.
something and someone was on their phone, I would do worse things than throw their
Oh
phone.
yeah.
I would
Oh,
do
yeah.
significantly worse things to them. Because that's just like so disrespectful. And it's like, you know, everyone has these opinions about like movie theaters and like, do movies need to be seen on the big screen? And it's like, you know, I've seen plenty of stuff that's my
Yeah.
favorite movies that I haven't seen on the big screen, but it's like what we were describing for Hunt, like the experience, like it's not their favorite movie out of the festival or anything like that, but
No.
the experience with
No.
a crowd that's you're all in the same like emotional and psychological wavelength, or even if you're not, but everyone's still sharing a feeling that you can't really describe. There's no like word for it, you know, there's no
No,
word for what
yeah.
you feel when
No.
you're in like great audience like that. And it's like, that's something special. Don't fucking ruin that. Like,
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. God.
all right, so now I'm buying my plane ticket to Tiff next year. I land.
Yeah.
I drop my bags off at Gene's former room at Carlos's house, and Gene's sleeping on the street. What is my next move the moment I hit that red carpet?
Ooh.
Ooh.
What do I got to do? How do I
Hmm.
fit into the Toronto International Film Festival?
Well, if
What
you're
advice?
specifying red carpet, that's definitely more of a Jamie question.
Yeah.
Because
Okay,
he
yeah, let's
worked
start
red
there.
carpets.
I'm the person who was covering a lot of red carpets as a press member because thing is, this year I didn't get to cover as many as I wanted to because they had a different protocol compared to the last year when I was on press, where I could just sign up onto any red carpet. They would just save a spot no matter what. But this year it's like I had to send an RSVP, wait for them to email me back to confirm that I would have a spot on the red carpet this time around. First things first, don't show up 1 second late, otherwise they lock you out entirely. I learned that from trying to cover The Broker and Women Talking Red Carpets on the same day, and one of them ran late. So I got locked out of the other one.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Second, your questions, doesn't even matter how unprepared you are. Just come up with them on the fly. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a lot easier than it seems. And plus, you're just there to talk with the people who you're gonna be seeing on the carpet anyway.
Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah. And plus, I honestly thought it would be a lot more intimidated when I got to chat with Hirokazu Koreeda and Song Kang-ho this year, but Song Kang-ho remembered me from when I interviewed him on the Parasite red carpet. That made things a whole lot easier for me.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. And he also said this before I started on the interview. He said, "Your Korean's getting better. So keep getting at it."
Oh, that's fantastic.
Fucking
Yeah.
amazing.
Nice.
And you know what? I said after that, I'm just gonna do more Korean red carpets this year. And I'll tell you right now, Korean red carpets, the fan zones they're a whole other level entirely.
Were they more like intense than the Taylor Swifties?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
I say this
Dude.
because I covered the Project Wolf Hunting red carpet, and I didn't even realize that one of the guys I interviewed there was a fucking K-pop star. So that's
Wow.
why all my tweets about the movie blew up the way they did. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, also good to know for if I ever make my way into a red carpet at Tiff. That's
Yeah.
good suggestions.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bo and Carlos, any advice you have for first time Tiff attendees, Tiffers?
Ooh. You want to go, Carlos, or do you want me to?
Go ahead. I have to think.
You see, I have to think too. Honestly, the one thing that pops in my head, I'm like, well, obviously, when it comes to TIFF, I think the big films are probably going to be the ones you try to pounce on first, but also try to balance it with some of the smaller stuff, especially the stuff that's like that doesn't have a distributor yet, that is still up for acquisition, or stuff that has a distributor but will probably get a pretty small release because of the kind of movie that it is.
Or no
I
release.
feel like, yeah,
For the People's Joker.
yeah, the People's Joker,
Oh.
exactly. Which
Yeah.
I honestly, I kind of wish I did make my way out to see it now. But I was at a party, so
That's all
Yeah, I would have done a party that night if only I didn't. If only I wasn't already at People's Jokers. And
you could have come in, dude. It was an open invitation.
yeah, but People's Joker is
Yeah,
apparently
it's
going to
true,
be
it's
the only night, and I probably would be super tired after the movie too.
It's true. It's
So,
true.
Well, here
Yeah. You were one of the few people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
So
and
for
I'll
those.
say it gives us really insane bragging rights too. So
Yeah, for those that don't know that are listening, The People's Joker is it's basically a parody film of the Joker, but it's from a trans perspective, right?
Mhm.
Is that correct?
yes.
Yeah.
And it uses like Warner Brothers like IP stuff like that, but they apparently cover their bases legally. Like that's I don't know any specific details. They covered as much as they could when they're making the movie. The movie got made. It wasn't shut down at all until it was finished and about to be released. That's when I'm like, okay, well, if you could have stopped it, then you would have to have heard. You're a big company. You would have heard about this before. It wasn't a problem before. Why is it a problem now?
Probably
It's
just David Soslov.
Yeah, that dude, man.
What a
the fuck?
prick.
Yeah. And so the movie's been pulled from everywhere. They're still trying to find a way to release it. I wish them the best of luck. I don't know the director, but I know a lot of people are really rallying around the movie and the very idea of like why a lot of queer reads go into these popular productions, these popular IP concepts, stuff like that, and how like a different non-cis hetero perspective can evolve for a very personal reading, and it's like if these things are like our modern mythologies, when we're talking over the campfire about this stuff, maybe let some other perspectives pop up, and if they're modern mythology, maybe work that shit in the public domain so anyone can tell a story.
Exactly.
Don't know what the fuck, why. I mean,
It's
I know
supposed
why
to be
it
your
doesn't
modern
happen.
mythology.
Yeah.
There's supposed to be a modern
Let's work with
mythology,
it.
but they in that they are only they're only allowed to talk about the movies positively, right?
Oh, also that too, yeah, because that's fucking nerds. Sorry. I mean, like we're all like nerds here too, but it's like we're not that.
Yeah, we're not nerds who will bootlick a corporation.
Yep.
Yeah. So best of
Fuck
luck to the
that.
People's Joker. All right, Carlos, advice. If if anyone else, or Gene, if anyone else can't think of anything else to advise for newcomers, maybe food recommendations.
Poutine.
Smoke
Not exactly food, but I was gonna say stay hydrated, obviously.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Bring a water bottle with you.
Stay hydrated because
yeah,
festival experience is an exhausting experience, especially if you're doing multiple movies a day, which I have done, and obviously Jamie has done.
Yeah, well, the thing is, being in the fan zone for Steven Spielberg, and chanting his name for like a good 10 minutes or so as soon as he came out for everybody to see him. I came into the movie super dehydrated, so yeah. So
Oh,
yeah,
that's
remember to refill your water bottles.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean,
And-
I drink a lot of water throughout the more than I usually do. So
yeah.
yeah.
Mhm. And you also are gonna need it, especially for the Midnight Madness screenings. I can tell you
Mhm.
that much because
Oh,
the
man.
Midnight Madness audiences, Diego, as soon as we get to here, we are taking you to one of those screenings.
They go
Yeah, those are
fucking
fun.
nuts.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can't
watching
wait.
VHS was
I
interesting.
can
with those
attest to
guys.
Midnight Madness being something
Mhm.
else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I
I'm
got
so
to see-
excited.
And when I saw the Weird Al movie over there, I started up waves of clapping to every one of the songs there, and the whole crowd, fittingly, of course, went crazy. And I also saw Sisu right after that, and I could tell. I'm gonna tell you right now, the crowd for Sisu was one of the best crowds that I've had for a Midnight Madness screening, just in general. Because
Oh,
we were
man.
just, yeah, we were just losing our shit at Nazis being blown up. Because like, there's a scene in the okay, there's a scene in this movie where okay, this guy he steps on a landmine. What does he do with it afterwards? He throws it right back at the Nazis.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And which movie is this again?
It's called Sisu. It's the new movie by Yalmari Halander, who directed Big Game and Rare Exports: A Christmas Tale. It is
Oh yeah,
fucking crazy.
I
It is
like
fucking
Big
crazy.
Game. Okay.
I like
Yeah.
Rare Exports. Yeah,
Rare
Yeah.
Exports is great. I
is
like
good.
that
Oh,
movie
yeah.
a lot.
good Christmas movie. There you go. It's coming
Yeah.
out.
Okay,
this
funny
season.
enough, funny enough, I have a story about this. I interviewed Yalmari Halander on the red carpet, but I actually didn't even realize it was him because they didn't give us a picture of anybody who was coming to the carpet. I thought he was just one of the actors. So when I interviewed him, he was like, "Well, you see, I played the role of the director. I'm the guy who yells cut right behind the camera, like you don't even see me on screen." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "Man, I fucked up, but at least he played it cool."
Well, that's always nice, and when because I've interviewed people before too, and sometimes you get a little like anxious about it and stuff like that. But when they roll with you and they're not like giving you a you're giving yourself a hard time, and if they can recognize that and work with you, that's always great. That's great.
Mhm.
He was really cool. He was really nice too. So I'm very thankful I had that experience with him.
Yeah, I mean, Jamie, are you like the president of Tiff then? Because like you got all these stories. You see
Got all these
basically almost
connections.
every movie there.
Oh my goodness,
What?
man.
How do you do it?
I just do it. I mean, I skipped classes just to be here.
Oh.
Oh, I
But
respect
here's
that.
the thing. I ran into one of my profs during the festival. He said, "You know what? This week we have homework. We normally have homework for you, but you know what? I'm gonna mark you as with a passing grade anyway for this week because you're here doing important work at the festival anyway.
Yeah.
So don't worry about missing anything."
I saw you
Fantastic.
tweet that and I was like, that's fucking dope.
Yeah.
That's really dope.
That's
Oh my
cool.
goodness.
All right, and then I guess just the last question. It's the most important question to my Canadian fellows here. Poutine. Where's the best place I can get poutine
Mm,
when I go
Smokes Poutineery.
Smokes, yeah.
there?
okay, it's on the.
But
list now.
also, like outside of poutine, like three places that I usually like to go to during the fest. Shawarma King, which is like next to the Royal Alexandra, Royal Alexandra Theater, which was a new venue that they used throughout the festival, especially for the Midnight Madness stuff. I love Shawarma King, and Franz. Franz
Friends
is
is great. I went with you
Franz is
guys.
great. Yeah, especially when you're
Yes.
celebrating the last day with a couple of guys like Jamie and Gene and Carlos,
Shaq, yeah,
Shaq, and Julia. Shout out to Julia.
Mhm.
She was awesome.
very nice.
Oh yeah.
And
I just-
Eric and
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm.
I just remember our waiter was like, "Oh, it's cool. You guys are fine." She was just like, I don't know if she was like happy or frustrated or what, but
I
they
don't
were good
know.
together.
Yeah. The bald headed guy seemed a little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was Gene. He was judging you in that poutine selfie that you guys. That picture.
yeah,
So he was
there's
in
a
the back of that. He was looking at you like.
On
Yeah.
my Twitter, there's a selfie with Shaq, and then I'm holding the poutine with him, and then one of our like waiters, he's in the background, he's just giving me the fucking side eye because I was just like, he's not having it.
We don't have that in the States, and we don't have healthcare. Please let us have this.
Don't judge us. Don't judge us,
Yeah.
America.
How do you guys? How does America not have poutine? That makes no sense.
This country
At
does
this
not make a lot of
point?
sense.
No, it doesn't.
No, this country does
No.
not make a lot of sense. So.
I mean, I guess we could like make it from scratch,
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna know
Yeah.
if I did it right because I've not had an
Mhm.
actual like poutine.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
I
I
find
mean,
it very
obviously the
amusing
goal.
how- Finish what you're saying. Paul.
Oh no! Very sure you were saying. I was just saying, obviously the goal, Diego. Next year, if you come to Toronto, you gotta have a
okay.
poutine.
I was saying is that it's just,
We gotta
it's-
assimilate you in our Canadian
Mhm.
ways.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What I was going to say was that I find it very amusing that how many American friends of mine, the very first thing that they want whenever Canada, like even the idea of a trip to Canada, oh, maybe I'll come visit you, or if you can show me around Toronto, maybe someday, is they want to know about poutine. It's always the first thing. Americans want poutine, America.
Yes.
So you guys need to sort that out.
Absolutely.
Want it? Export it over here.
Yes.
God damn
Come
it.
on.
We'll make a killing.
That and
Yeah.
ketchup chips. Is
Yeah.
ketchup chips a Canadian thing?
Yeah,
Wow. Okay. All right.
yeah,
and plum sauce apparently.
That's right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my very first time. This is a few years ago, my very first time in New York City, and I go to a restaurant, and I, being a very adventurous eater, I ordered chicken tenders, and,
Mhm.
and they brought it out with a honey mustard sauce, and I was like, "You guys have plum sauce?" And I swear the waiter looked at me like I had 5,000 kids. He was like, I could see the gears turning, and he was just like, plum sauce? What? And I'm just like, yeah, plum sauce. Do you have that? And he's like, he looked at me dead in the eye for a solid 20 seconds, and then he said, do you mean ranch? And I'm like, no. I said, you know what? Don't worry about it, because the fumes were coming out of his ears. It was too much to process. And I open up my phone, I go on Twitter, and I just tweet, I'm like, do Americans not have plum sauce? And all my American mutuals respond, what's plum sauce? And I swear,
Yeah.
I thought I had entered another dimension. It's so ubiquitous up here. It's just everywhere. So and Jeremy, our buddy Jeremy on Twitter, he said he still doesn't think it's real. He thinks it's a mythical
It's like
elixir
you're making
that
that
I
up.
made up. So yeah, it's just, that was a surreal experience, and it's just crazy to know that you guys don't have that.
Mhm.
but I will try it next year,
Yeah.
as well as say hello to all of you in person, and we'll hang out. We'll all have a great
Yeah.
time, much like we
Absolutely.
did having a great time recording this podcast.
Otherwise, you'll be facing the wrath of Shaq.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Shaq,
has
for,
to
for those that
punch you.
didn't see, Shaq left me a very kind but threatening invitation to go to Tiff next year.
Yeah.
I believe he called me a bitch ass for not going this year, which is acceptable. I'll take
Yeah.
that hit.
I
But
decided
until
to give
It
you
is
then,
what
that
it
for your
is.
birthday too, because you know what? Why not? Also, happy belated.
Oh, yeah.
Diego.
Happy birthday.
oh yeah, thank you. And
Yo,
thank you
yeah,
to-
happy birthday, Diego.
Thank you very much. Thank
I
you.
already wished you a happy birthday. I'm not
Yeah.
doing it yet. Happy birthday,
No,
Diego.
well, thank all of you for the birthday wishes. Thanks to Gene. We had a small little get together at the beach yesterday. That's why I'm a little out of it. I'm a little tired. I had a lot of fun. Thank you for all the messages. I don't think I've gotten back to everyone yet who sent me a birthday message, which is very touching that I am in a position to not be able to get back to everyone right away. It was very nice. I had a great birthday. It's a great way to close out the weekend. I mean, I'm watching Don't Worry Darling after this, and if that's not a great way to close out the weekend, when I get home, I'm gonna listen to this when I re-upload it for the podcast in the morning. And until then, why don't you all let the people know where they could find you online? Let's do the proper order now. Bode, where can the people find you online?
You can find me on Twitter at Bode Suleiman, Instagram at Bode Suleiman. That's BodeSulaiman. You can also follow me on Letterboxd, where I will log in some movies and post my little thoughts on them, here and there, up and about. And I guess I guess I didn't really. If we didn't have time to mention like our favorite movies from the fest, my favorite number one, All the Beauty and the Bloodshed.
I'm so mad I missed out on that one because I had the Friday screening of that on my schedule. Then
That they
I found
canceled
out.
it.
Yeah, they got. So yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, of all the movies there, that's my favorite of the fest. Probably my favorite film of the year. So yeah, definitely keep an eye on that film.
Yeah, I will. And thank you for doing this. It was a lot of fun and great to meet you. This is the first time I've met you through the internet like this. It's the first time I met Jamie through the internet like this, I believe, right?
Yeah, I mean, what took us so long, Diego?
I don't know. You know what? I'm not going to take full responsibility for this one like I did for not going to Tiff. I feel like this is, it takes two to tango. I think it's on both of us, to be fair.
Yeah,
so let me make it up to you by plugging your social medias right now. Where can people find you online?
Well, people can find me on Twitter at Firewalk with Jamie. You can also find me on Instagram at Rebinal Without a Cause, and on Letterboxd at letterboxd.com/Jamie Rebinal. But you can also find me on Twitch on twitch.tv/pretentious frostlaughs.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for stopping by. And Carlos, second timers club. Thank you again for joining us. Where else can the people find you? And I'll link to our previous episode in the description as well, because I think that was a really good one.
Oh, awesome. So my Twitter is at Carlos Alonso M. I tweet a lot about movies, but also sometimes about Mass Effect because it's kind of a favorite. Also, you can find me on Letterboxd. I am Dr. Doom on Letterboxd. I somehow managed to get that handle on there, so that was I just actually just logged Blonde right before I got on here. I got to see that at the Lightbox, and that was an awesome experience, and I think that might be my favorite movie of the year so far. Very interesting movie because it seems that it is literally not just talked about as this, it's literally a love it or hate it movie. So I'm very curious how the rest of y'all will end up feeling about it. But yeah, and also I do write sometimes at IGN, just under my name, Carlos Morales. So yeah.
Good dinosaur articles on Jurassic Park.
Oh yeah.
I ended up writing a lot of articles about Jurassic Park movies recently. Yes.
I read all your articles. I have not.
I literally just rewatched Jurassic Park just today. So.
Oh, see, it's fate. It's fate. That's what it is.
Classic cinema right there.
Well, some of them. Some of them.
Yeah.
Oh God.
We've talked about it. We definitely share favorites for sure. And then there's other ones. Gene, my co-host, thank you very much also for joining me. Where can the people find you?
Gene9892 on Instagram and Twitter.
All right. And you can find me at the Diego Crespo on Twitter. Check out the Waffle Press on Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, and Patreon. Get early access to the next retrospective. There's actually I always say that there's not always a retrospective waiting. There's archives of like some older unedited episodes, but like generally speaking, lately there hasn't been that much. But there's an episode waiting for you. Go check it out on the Patreon. It's $3. You get exclusive access. And what is art but anything that makes you feel better by having exclusive access and making you feel more powerful than the people sitting next to you? There you go. That's what art's about, baby. Yeah, thanks for everyone for listening. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. If you didn't like this episode, like and subscribe anyways, because you might find something you do like. So again, thank you all for this and for hyping me up for TIFF next year, stopping by. I'm really excited to do that. Until then, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We have been professionally unprofessional.